And I think there are many people here who hate patents too, because patents make much of the harm to our society, to our technology. So companies spend too much time and resources to circumvent the patents, to search what patents are existing, to patent their product itself. So the idea is, and I would like to find the community for that. There are two problems, I will talk about it. The idea is to make an open platform for all ideas. So if you have the open platform for all ideas and everybody can submit the idea, then in a couple of years the whole patent system will be obsolete. Why? Because if you publish the idea, openly publish the idea, then it cannot be patented anymore. So there are two problems in that. There should be a reliable community which is willing to support that. And the second problem is technical. You have to assign the timestamp to the idea. If there is no timestamp, that will be, well, questionable in any trial, in any court trial. Because if Microsoft goes to the court and says, well, this is the idea which was published on the internet, but there's no reliable timestamp, and they have hacked that, and they have put this idea yesterday on the internet and not 1 year ago as they claim. So reliable, and maybe it's the wrong word here in the hackerspace, that the timestamp should not be hackable. So that should be absolutely reliable. This is the technical problem. If someone can help with that, with the timestamp problem, okay, thanks, I'll talk to you later. And if there is the community, if there are, well, people who want to support such platform, who deeply hate patents as I do in my private time, then we can talk about that. Thanks very much.
All right, I promised you a break. I'm breaking that. So here's one more talk for today. Right, this is going to be a very highly compressed talk. The last time I gave this talk, it was 90 minutes. I was giving it to an audience who were not sure about what is XML. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to give you the big picture first of all. The big picture is social software, but not in one place with all the data. You have your data on your server with your public-private key pair, so you can contact me directly. So we could make a decentralized network of XML machines. That's what I'm making here. And I want to say, okay, this is not distributed programming. This is not a whole load of machines which are all operating one program, because your machine is doing your things with your software on it, with your data, with your friends. So what is F2F, the architecture? It's P2P plus keys, so you know who's contacting you. The identity is based on strong cryptography. So is the web distributed programming? Well, each website is doing its own thing, but what's giving you? You're just getting a page. That's a piece of text. That's not good for semantic web. That's not intended to program. That's not a two-way thing. It's a bit of a stretch. It's like a dumb terminal. So the clients are sending data. And we've done this. You know, you go to Google, you're making a post request, you're making a get request, but it's a pretty dumb request. And Google is doing some clever things, but you don't see that. You just get a piece of text back again. So look at that in terms of programming. Then, okay, I don't have a mouse, but you can see we've got code, which we know we write programs, and arguments, which is untrusted. So that's the functions which are passed to the program, and it's by design. You don't want people writing code and running it on your machine, do you? Well, if you know who they are, you might want that. So this is normal programming, separates out arguments from code. So I'm going to say, if I'm going to send something to somebody, I might want to say, okay, here's the data. I might want to say, I can't access the data, but this is how you get the data, because you've got permissions. So data is no longer separate from code. It doesn't have to be. And they have a common format that's called XML. So what is running on these machines is basically an XML machine. It takes input XML, outputs XML, so you can network them together. So site can dynamically script another site, and we're going beyond, oh, I'm going here, I'm getting a piece of HTML, I'm bringing it back. You can chain what is the request between the sites. So how to program it? There's one XML item with a URI that identifies it uniquely. So the virtual machine says, okay, I can process that. Here's some XML as a result. Whether it crashes, whatever, it's only giving XML because the output of one is the input of another. Okay, I wasn't sure who knows XSLT, but XSLT is a W3C standard language from a long time ago for transforming an XML document into another XML document, and side effect free. I'm going to show you the Hello World service. So we have Hello World identifier. The service says, okay, ja, das kann ich machen. So it locates that as an XSLT transform. That's an XML transform. So it goes through the script. That's the output. So that's how you make a function call in an ordinary language. And you're passing in parameters as static data. So you know how that works. A more transparent alternative is to use XML. So why is that helpful? Well, the XML input document is the request. If you can see how that's going to work, that's how to program in this language. When you're nesting calls, we've written programming languages like this, the deeper ones get transformed first. So you're passing XML by default. You can change it, but by default, the deeper service requests are processed first. So that gets replaced with the output of the service. So when the outside one has only got static content, that becomes the deepest service rec, that gets processed. So, okay. Yeah, there's about 3 more. What I'm saying is XML pipeline, then the output of the one transform becomes the input of the next transform. So by specifying any XML document, you can do any XML pipelining. So the only last piece to add, because XSLT is transforming one XML document into another XML document, it's side effect free. But hey, we want to write some data. I want to read some data. I want to open a HTTP connection and secure it. So we have some services which are hard-coded. So it's not using XSLT. So that adds the bits which XSLT was missing. And that's the summary. Your F2F server is an XML virtual machine that forms a decentralized network with your data and networks only with your friends. You can do any XML pipelining, and the base language is XML, and you can write software for it, and that's it.
I will have to look at the recording and think about this again. That was pretty quick. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for the speakers. I hope you'll be back tomorrow and send us your feedback. Thank you very much. Bye.